Changing your car's oil might sound intimidating, but today I'm going to show you how easy it is to do it yourself and save some money on the process. In my case, it's a Toyota RAV4 Mark III, but it's almost the same for every car out there. Something that is super important is to make sure you buy a good quality oil since you are doing it yourself and you have a choice as to what oil you want to use based on your specific climate. I will also show you later in the video why is it important to change the seal on your oil drain plug and how to change the oil filter so you don't contaminate the fresh oil with the debris left on the old filter. The first step that you want to do when you want to change the oil on the car is to jack up the car so it gives you a little bit of a clearance from the ground. The right spot to jack up your car, normally on the side of the driver and on the side of the passenger in the front, there are these two markings, and you got to jack up the car between these two markings. I have lifted the car on this side and I've secured it with the jacket stand. I'm just going to go ahead and do exactly the same thing on the other side. All right, now our car is jacked up, and I've also placed this mat underneath the car to have a little bit of a comfort while I'm doing this process. Welcome to the belly of the car. So this is the drain plug where you got to drain the oil from this reservoir over here. Inside this reservoir is all the oil inside your engine whenever the car is stationary. So there is a pump inside and it pumps all the oil inside the engine whenever the car is running. And whenever it's stationary, it's going to be over here. By undoing this bolt over here, we got to get rid of all the old oil which is stored inside here, and in return top it up with fresh oil so your car can drink a healthier juice and it gives you a better fuel efficiency. So now the first thing that I've done, I have placed a reservoir to catch the oil that is going to drain from here. Then you need a number 14 socket, which you're just going to unscrew this one with. Simply hook it up to your wrench spanner, or if you don't have one, you have an open end one, that's also going to do the job. Just place it in and start unscrewing the oil. This is a good time to hit that subscribe button and a like if you've been following along so far and you're planning to do this thing on your own car, and give me a little bit of a motivation to do more videos like this one for you. Just apply a little bit of a pressure at the end of the bolt as you're doing this one, and once you know that it is ready to go, just take it out, and then you're not going to be able to make a mess. So I have brought you slightly closer to show you this. You see the washer that I was already talking about earlier in the video. In this case, this is kind of like melted or stuck to the reservoir in here, which is not a good thing, or at least not right now is a good thing. It's a good thing because it's a good seal, and you need to specifically change this one every time you change the oil in your car. So once you go ahead and try to purchase some good quality oil, this is just important to buy this washer. It's not going to cost you a lot, but it's definitely something that you need to consider if you try to do this process by yourself. So we're going to go ahead and put this one back in there. That's good. Then give it a good wipe. Get rid of any mess that is in there. And this one, you don't need to super tighten it. Tighten it with the hand, and then get your wrench. Just go very, very slowly. Just like that. And that's it. It should be good. So now that we have put the plug back into its place, if you come slightly further to the front of the car, you will have this one. This is, in this particular model, the oil filter, which we got to take out and replace it with a new one. So to take the oil filter out, you need a special tool. If yours is really good stuck in there, I have a short video. The link is right now in the corner. You can click on it and see this special tool and how to use it. I've now loosened this one up. I placed the oil catcher underneath, and now it is ready to be undone by hand. It's going to make a mess. So you'd be better prepared with a lot of kitchen towels or something to wipe up the mess and have the oil catcher really, really aimed underneath it. So I got the old oil filter out. As you can see, the seal is already stuck in there. That's not so much of a worry. You can simply take it out. I'm only deciding to show you this in case yours is also stuck in there. Make sure that you definitely do this job step by step. Things like this can cause you a little bit of a problem. So just be a little bit extra careful while you're doing jobs like this in order to prevent any damage to your vehicle. So this is the oil filter that I just got out of the car. And if you compare it to the new one that I have, it is missing the O-ring or the seal. Couple of things that you want to make sure before you go and install. Obviously, they are different sizes, but that's not going to be our concern because nowadays companies try to do different modifications. The main thing that is very important for us is the top bit. It's got to be obviously the same diameter. If you place them over each other, they fit perfectly, so the diameter is correct, and the way that it screws in is kind of like got the same curve, so that's also good. And the diameter of the hole where it's going to be screwed in is also the same size. On the side it says 3/4 and 3/4, so we're good to go. All right, so now that we have learned how to take this one out, let's place the new one. Just gonna go up there, and we've just lubricated it, so it should be fairly easy for next time if you want to take it out. And we just gonna go ahead and simply by hand start tightening it up. Now, one thing that you gotta do, it says even on the packaging, hand tight only. So don't be a little bit paranoid about it, whether it's gonna come off or anything. There's no pressure on this one. It's just the filter. It's just gonna filter the oil. It's not gonna be a mechanical part or anything. So as long as you hand tighten it, the seal is gonna seal everything up, and you're good to go. And well, are we at the last part of the process of changing oil in a car? So this part is where the oil is going to go inside the car. This is also a really good idea to undo this lid or this cap over here once you are draining the oil from underneath the car. Another thing that you would like to check, if you look inside this, is fairly clean. All you can see is just the burnt oil or used oil that you have in here, which is not a bad thing. It's actually a good sign. If you have kind of like a milkshake color, that means that you have major problems with your engine. So this is good, milkshake is bad. And what it means that somewhere in your system, the coolant has found a way to get inside your engine and mix with the oil. And what happens with oil and water getting mixed or coolant getting mixed? It's milkshake. So if you have that one, stop immediately driving your car and seek help from a professional mechanic before you cause more problems to your engine. This is doable. This is really easy. As you've seen, we've just changed the oil, and that's all it needs to do. We need to top it up with the fresh oil. Get yourself a funnel. Make sure that the funnel is fairly clean. I also have a little filter in here. I'm just going to place it in here and start pouring oil into the engine. How much oil you might need for your engine is totally depending on the type of engine that you have. This car takes about 4.5 liter, and I have a reservoir for 5 liter. Now, in case you're not changing the oil filter in your car, you will definitely need slightly less oil because some of the oil is always going to stay in your oil filter, and that's what's going to happen. So basically we're just going to fill it up slowly. Don't rush it, let it take it in, and once I'm done with half of the oil in the container, I'm just going to let it sit for a little bit and then top it up again. All right, so now I have fed the engine with the enough oil. It took roughly about 4.5. This is the oil indicator for my engine, and there are two little dots in here. What you want to do, you want to be as close as to the top one. That means high and low. So as close as you can get it to the top one, that means you're spot on and you got enough oil in your engine. Remember just to do this once the car is on a flat level. So once you put it in, put it out, and then you wipe it just like that. It's clean, and then you will put it back in there. Don't force it, don't bend it, let it down, bring it out, and double check. And that's a good indication that we got right amount of oil. I've just done a bunch of other services on this car, and the videos are right at the end of this video. There are two links. You can click in either of them and watch along, do the services on your car. I hope this has been informative to you, and thank you very much for watching.